Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor. Ripple.
Do you like the way it smells?
I don't smell it yet, but I'm glad that my smoke detectors don't have batteries in them because I think you would be setting them off in my house right now.
I'm hotboxing your whole house.
Why are you lighting things on fire in my house?
It's like a white sage Palo Santo to get all the evil spirits out.
Oh, well, that's good. I probably need that.
It's a cleansing, like, wand.
Cleansing my aura?
Yeah, either that or it's going to put us into, like, a asthmatic breathing treatment needed.
That's a possibility. Where did you get this little rope that you lit on fire?
My friend Sarah.
Oh, did she make it?
No, she ordered some crystals and they sent it to her, I think.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Smell it. Smells like Palo Santo.
It smells like smoke.
Okay.
Okay, well, I hope it gets out all the demons.
We're saging the house. We're eating rice pudding.
Yeah, which is not, I finished mine already because that is not something you want to hear on a microphone. That's not a good sound.
I'm going to have you tell your story. I'm just going to eat spoonfuls of rice pudding.
Yeah, hit the mute button on your mic when you do that.
The rice pudding was a total afterthought, but we're doing stories about weddings today. At one point, threw rice at weddings. I don't think that happens anymore.
I think that should be our fun fact of the week. I think one of us needs to look up why rice was thrown at weddings.
Like how that originated?
Yeah.
Okay. Our history fact of the day.
That seems painful. And I heard it's bad for birds, and you shouldn't do that.
That's why I thought they stopped it, and people like throw bird seed.
Why do you need to throw things at weddings?
I don't know. They had bubbles at my wedding.
Oh, that's nice.
I like bubbles.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Uh-huh. Doesn't kill any birds.
No, just pops.
Okay. Do you have anything to share?
I'm sure I did. I know I had something at one point in my life to share with you. I'm sure I'll think of something. Do you have something to share?
It's getting warmer. I'm getting the garden going. We're going to start a new business of roses. And we're going to grow a bunch of flowers in Rose's front yard. And
we are.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was actually working this weekend clearing out shrubs and bushes to make way for the flowers.
Okay. Well, I have some vacation time, so I'm going to go over there and plow your field.
I can't wait for you to plow my field. I don't think I should ever say that to my sister.
No, I also have some roses over here on my table that are starting to wilt, and I think I'm going to try to propagate them. Have you ever seen that?
I've heard of that. I've heard of people doing that with like beautiful roses.
I'm going to try it.
I have a whole bunch of propagation going on in my classroom right now.
Oh, that's
fun. Like Monsanto's. Not Monsanto's. That's the
seed company.
Seed company.
Well, and ag company.
Monsterias. That's diarrhea and monsters.
What?
Monstera plants.
What are those?
Like the ones you see at Trader Joe's with the big leaves.
Oh.
Leaves.
Okay.
They're cool. I have them at my house. I took a bunch of cuttings of them, and the kids put them in water, and we're doing propagation for science.
For science.
So, yeah, be looking for our new business coming soon.
Yeah, business number 723.
Ripple Podcast, Cut Flowers.
Yes. Maybe we can provide flowers to your wedding.
Which we're talking about today. Ooh, look at that. You're like a professional with that transition segue.
And we can be a Reddit story on how our florist fucked up our entire wedding.
Do you have a story about that?
No.
Oh. All right. Well, you want to go first with your wedding story?
Yes.
Okay,
Go.
So the reason we're doing weddings is because on the last episode, Angela told a story about a woman that the bridesmaid was being told to wear this dress. It was very unflattering, and the bride was not being flexible whatsoever about it. And so this bridesmaid just said, "Rock it. I'm just gonna look way better than the bride." But there was like a huge follow-up of this story, correct?
Well, yes and no. So, okay, this is on Best of Redditor Updates. And the Best of Redditor Updates title was Bride Made Profit on Bachelorette Trip. And immediately under that was the story that I read about the bridesmaid who was told to wear this super revealing dress that's made for a twig type of girl, and she is not a twig type of girl. So she's just going to have boobies flying out at that wedding. And if that's what the bride wanted, that's what the bride's going to get. But I do have the story that it was originally referencing, which is bride made profit on bachelorette trip.
That's right. There was like money involved, and we didn't ever hear the money part of the story.
Yeah, we didn't get to that point. But I don't know if this is from the same user or if this is an entirely different person.
Because it was on a best of.
Right. And I don't know why they're together. It doesn't say. Okay. So this was posted January 23rd, 2024. So a year ago, sorry. So much tea. I'm glad I can spill my Reddit community because I can't gossip about it to my family. So, about 6 months ago, the bride planned her destination bachelorette trip and charged each of the 11 girls $650 for the Airbnb.
Wait. So there's 11, so 12, counting the bride. And they're each paying
$650.
I can't do that much math.
Oh, I'll get there. You don't have to.
Okay.
I was salty about the high cost, but it's my sister-in-law, so I sucked it up and paid her. I also was suspicious about the high as fuck price. So I did cross-check the Airbnb listing, and it checked out. Yes, Airbnb wanted $2,300 a night for this beachfront house.
That is insane.
Yeah, that's
like the cost of a flight somewhere really cool.
Yeah, and who wants to, and yeah. Well, today I'm chatting about the wedding stuff with my brother, who is marrying my future sister-in-law, and he said something along the lines of, what a relief her dad paid for the Airbnb because that would have been so expensive for your group.
Are you kidding me?
I about choked. I said, hey, are you sure about that? Because all 11 girls paid $650 for the house alone. Yeah, so you've got to take that into consideration. Not just the Airbnb itself, but you have to pay for your travel, you have to pay for your meals, you have to pay whatever type of things, that
massages,
activities that they're going to do there.
Facials.
I would have to pass.
Well, and you're probably paying for the bride as well. Like, everyone's probably pitching in, $100, $200, $300, $400 for her.
And she's the future sister-in-law, so she's probably not a part of the bride's friend group. So she's probably going with, 10 strangers or people
like
that you maybe have met
obligation
once or twice.
Bridesmaid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would suck. I'd be pissed. And you're using your vacation time, too. No, thank you. Anyway, I about choked. Oh, I already said that part. To add to the greed going on here, when I got married, I flew her out, paid for her accommodations, paid hair and makeup,
Wow.
paid for her bridesmaid dress, and paid for transportation because she was going through a hard time. Now she has the balls to steal from me. I get that weddings are expensive, but don't have one if it requires you to steal from your bridesmaids. I'm assuming I am the only bridesmaid who is aware of what's going on here. Not sure if I should spill it to the group or just let it go. There's a chance her dad stepped in and paid for it after the fact, and she chose not to refund us. I'm not clear on the exact situation and want to avoid embarrassing my brother. So, Rosa, what would you do?
Okay, so I'm going to be the future sister-in-law. I just paid a bunch of money, but found out the dad actually paid for it all. I would say something and make it be, I'd be real petty. I'd make it be real nonchalant, like hanging out maybe at drinks or something before the actual event, not the wedding, but the actual trip, and say something like, hey, that's so cool. Your dad offered to pay for everyone to go on this trip. What are we gonna do with that extra money now?
Okay, you and I are the same because I was thinking the exact same thing.
Really?
I was thinking if it were me and it were getting closer and closer to the time of that trip and she hadn't said anything or refunded the money, I think because there's probably a group text message going out with all of the bridesmaids just to coordinate everything, I would have been like, oh my gosh, please tell your dad, say thank you so much for being so generous and paying for all of us. This is amazing. Now we're going to have extra money to go out and get drinks and whatever.
Pamper ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if you're already thinking of spending it on a vacation, consider that a loss. But she should not be,
profiting.
Right.
She's profiting.
Well, yeah, she is stealing. She's full on stealing. She's going to, have rent paid for a month or two off of the bridesmaids.
Yeah. That's a lot of money. And I don't even know. I mean, it says it's $2,300 a night. How many nights are they staying?
Well, what was they each paid how much again?
$650
times 12.
Yeah.
What's 6 times 12?
Want me to do the math?
That's
Okay,
72.
hold, please. Play the elevator music.
Plus 50 plus 300.
I don't know where you're getting any of those numbers.
7, 2, 3.
$7,150.
Okay, I wasn't too far off. That's so much money.
So much money.
And she's full on pocketing it.
Yeah.
That's not a good friend. That's not a good sister-in-law.
No. And I wonder, like, how that conversation went with the brother, too. Because, like, what did he say after he found that out? I wonder if she answered any questions in the comments. Let me scroll down and see. Okay. This person says, info. I need to know if you're also paying for your own dress, shoes, makeup, hair on top of this. OP says, yes, everything. A $350 dress. Okay. I have a whole other post about that scandal. Oh, so it was the same person. This is the same person that we talked about last time. Mm-hmm. $150 in hair, $150 in makeup, $200 in shoes, and I haven't even done the jewelry yet. Oh, and the bridal shower cost is being split amongst the 11 girls, plus the shower gift, plus the wedding gift from me and my hubby. I truly hope the bridesmaids go out of style. Oh, the dress in the very near future. I go broke every time. Oh, okay. I see what
like bridesmaids as a whole.
Yes, I go broke every time. And on top of that, you end up slaving away for some Bridezilla. Not all brides are like this. I've been in a few weddings that were really great. This is not one of those.
Wow. She's got so many reasons to say no to this bride.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm out.
I might only be doing one story tonight because there are a ton of updates.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of relevant comments, but it's kind of just like reiterating that, yeah, this is not the only thing that she's spending money on. That's how those words work. So, update number 1. Thanks for all the advice and support. Yes, I agree with most of you who are saying that I am morally obligated to spill the beans because $650 is not child's play. So that's another aspect of it too. Like, she has to consider that these other girls too are also being robbed, and now she's aware that they're being robbed. So
she's got to be the bigger person
to speak up on their behalf. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to talk to my brother and give him a chance to clear it up with the sister-in-law. Before I make a scene, I want to understand what's really going on. For example, did Daddy pay for the trip, but sister-in-law decided to put that towards a different wedding expense? Things like that. That answer will determine when and how I tell the rest of the bridesmaids. I'm going to give my brother only 1 to 2 days because of this trip is literally next week. Stay tuned for update number 2.
Okay, what's update number 2?
Update number 2. All right, so I regrouped with my brother. My mom also stepped in, bypassed my brother, and got some more info directly from her dad.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Here's the tea. Future and sister-in-law's dad did not offer to cover the cost until a few months after we all paid for the trip. This was after he found out the cost and was pissed that she chose a $2,300 night house and asked for us to pay. Apparently, he threatened not to pay for the wedding if she added more expenses onto the wedding party. Turns out, she originally wanted it at the Maldives.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either. And he forbade her.
Forbade
her. According to my mom, who chatted with him directly, he felt embarrassed when he heard about the Airbnb price and wanted to save face with my side of the family.
Oh my gosh, she is not a good person.
Nope. So he gave sister-in-law about $7,000 to cover the cost of the house. She was supposed to refund us, but obviously that never happened.
Oh my God!
This is where it gets good.
It's already gotten good.
So my mom went total FBI and learned that in addition to not paying us, sister-in-law didn't put that money towards different wedding expenses either. She doesn't have it. So where did it go? What did she spend it on?
She got new boobs.
That's what I was thinking too. That's what I do. There is currently a full-blown investigation going on between our two families right now. I have been asked by my mom not to alert the bridesmaids just yet until we get to the last bits of info and come to a resolution with both sister-in-law and her dad. But we will tell them as soon as we can, one way or another.
I wonder if this wedding is even going to happen.
I don't know.
I would opt out of the whole marriage at this point.
Right. So if you're the brother, I mean, he has to know she's a little loony, right? Like, or does this, like we said last time, do weddings bring out the crazy in people?
But this is beyond crazy. This is like malicious plotting. I'm going to tell my dad this thing. He already told me not to do it, but I'm going to do it anyways. He's going to give me the money. I'm going to keep the money from my friends.
Yeah, what does that say about this person that you're potentially going to spend the rest of your life with?
Yeah, I'd be
that she's
rethinking
that manipulative.
it.
She's terrible with finances. She's willing to screw over other people.
Family members.
Yeah.
Best friends, people that are going to like stand up next to you while you say your vows of love and life.
And you would know, like, wouldn't you think about that for like the rest of your life every time you thought about your wedding, about your wedding photos or any, like,
dude,
that's just
I got
dirty.
$650 from her, $650 from her.
That's so crazy. Ready for update number 3?
Uh-huh.
The plot thickens. So as this drama is all unfolding, the maid of honor, who doesn't know what's going on yet, is continuing her duties. We all get a 4-paragraph text from her outlining the dress code for each night of the Bachelorette.
Stop.
I can't. I'm sorry. I got the flu. I can't go. I will be explosive diarrhea eating all over that Airbnb, and I'm staying home. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, okay. I hope she talks about the dress code.
Okay. Each dress code for each night of the Bachelorette per the bride's orders. Keep in mind, the bride is asking us all to go out and buy new outfits for each night of the trip.
Who does she think she is?
And the themes are wild.
Okay, I'm ready. Cowgirls.
Animal print Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Faux fur Friday. Ew. Sparkle dress Saturday.
Oh, I like that one.
And Barbie brunch Sunday.
Stupid.
As if we're all going to go out and buy that shit 1 week before the trip, or at all. Thankfully, the bridesmaids seem to be waking up to her BS.
Good.
Several of them wrote back saying they won't be able to pull together these outfits in time, and one flat out said, it's just not going to happen.
Good for her.
But that's just a side story to the absolute shit show that is unfolding. My mom is very involved now, and she's paid a decent chunk of this wedding as well, and does not like that the bride is throwing around thousands of dollars from her dad, as well as lying to the bridal party. She set up a meeting directly with sister-in-law to cut the BS and explain what's going on. She told sister-in-law she's going to inform the bridesmaids herself unless she gets a valid answer. At this point, I'm just shoveling down popcorn, waiting for the events to unfold. I will be back tonight with hopefully the final update.
I wonder what brother is thinking at this point. Like, he's got to be so torn in the middle because, like, the woman he supposedly loves and wants to spend the rest of his life with and his mom, like, are already, and his sister are already not going to like each other before the wedding even begins.
Yeah, what a way to join two families together.
Mm-hmm, with lies and stealing.
Amazing.
Is there another update? Tell me
yeah,
this.
there's more updates.
Okay.
There's more updates. But first, what do you think the money got spent on?
I already said new boobs, but I think that would be too obvious.
Yeah, she unveils them at the bachelorette party.
Woo-woo! She didn't say, like, Tassel Tuesdays.
That would be way more fun.
I'm not going to say, like, cocaine. I think, like, something big, like a new car or something, everyone would see that and already know that.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, do you know?
Do you want an update?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get there.
Am I even
number
close?
4.
It's probably, like, a new bag. It's probably, like, some stupid, like, designer purse. That's my guess. Mm-hmm.
That would be better. That would be better than what it actually
Oh,
is.
no.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Update number 4. A swan ice sculpture.
Stop it.
She used the $7,000 to book a swan-shaped ice sculpture to be displayed at the reception and didn't tell anyone.
Are you kidding me?
Turns out her dad banned her from adding any more extras to the wedding design because it was already so expensive and unnecessary. When he Venmo'd her for the Airbnb, she thought she was being sneaky and kept it instead. She didn't even tell the brother this. He only found out that her dad decided to cover the Airbnb because those two went out for cigars one night and it came up. So that mystery is solved thanks to my mini FBI crew. But the real question remains, where the fuck is my $650 and how to break the news to my bridesmaids or to the bridesmaids?
Your $650 is melting.
Yeah.
Like dripping from a swan's beak onto a table.
It's literally going to melt. Like you were melting First of all, I had no idea ice sculptures were that expensive. I think we need to do some investigating because
That's like
they
an
really
ice castle.
$7,000?
No.
Can you do shots off of the bill or something?
Oh, maybe it's like
Is it
one
a
of those like
shot luge?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. That reminds me of like a few years back, there was some award show and some celebrity, probably a Kardashian or something, had like a ice purse. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, she had some like designer purse, but it was entirely made out of ice.
Why? That's stupid.
Your hands would be so cold.
I don't like to be cold or wet and cold. Like, no, that doesn't sound fun. And like my phone is then going to get wet.
Okay, I might be the cheapest person in the world, but I feel like I could throw an entire wedding for $7,000.
Oh, 100%. One that people are going to have way more fun at, too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to continue on with this update. Out of the kindness of her soul, my mom is giving sister-in-law 24 hours to confess to the bridesmaids and figure out how to pay us back our money. Because, you know what? I did not spend $650 for some damn ice. I have kids to feed. I have bills to pay. It is taking everything in me not to text the bridesmaid group right now, but my mom is trying to give sister-in-law one opportunity to do the right thing. This has been a roller coaster. Don't know if anyone here is still interested, but let me know if I should post a final outcome with the bridesmaids in one last update.
Yes, please. Post away.
Lord have mercy.
So there's Chiselet Ice located in the Bay Area.
That sounds like a dirty word.
Chiselet Ice. It says most, though not all of our ice sculptures we make are roughly 40 to 45 inches tall or wide by 22 inches tall or wide and start at $650.
So she could have gotten 11 ice sculptures.
Yes, one for each of the bridesmaids.
The giant ass swan. Stupid.
I know someone that used to do
Ice sculpting.
ice
Carving.
chainsawing. Yes.
Well, that's ice sculptures, right?
Yeah, it was all kinds of cool stuff.
Well, apparently there's some big money on it. Are you ready for update number 5?
Totally.
Let me see how many updates there are. Okay. I think this is about the end of our whirlwind of a bridesmaid story. Update number 5. Okay. As promised, here is the latest tea served boiling hot. This is a long update, and I'm going to try to get everything in. First, let's start with the bride's explanation to her family. Myself, my mom, my brother, her fiance, and her dad. She broke down crying.
Of course she did.
Saying that wedding planning has been getting in her head, and she has been crushed under the pressure to have the perfect wedding, which she felt she couldn't go without this alleged ice swan.
It's one swan. It's not like a pair, like putting their heads together and making like a heart or something.
Apparently. I didn't buy her sob story. After this whole incident, I think she is delusional, controlling, attention-seeking Bridezilla who's using the wedding as her way to compete with other girls on Instagram. By the way, her job, quote, influencer.
Stop it.
If I didn't mention that yet.
Nope, she didn't. That's more news.
Hey, if she's actually doing well as an influencer, then she should have this stuff paid for. Like, she should have sponsored posts with her, like,
ice sculpture.
Those ice sculpture people should be paying her if she's a real influencer. My brother took the bait. To be honest, I don't even blame him. This is his future wife, and he said he wants to help her with her mental health and get back to a good place. He's disturbed by the situation, but will continue to support her. The wedding is on, for those of you who are curious. Bummer.
It says bummer?
No, I say bummer. Next, let's get into the matter of the missing $7,000 and whether we're getting our money back. The sad, gut-wrenching answer? Probably not. Her dad said that he has already paid the Airbnb costs once and he will not do it again. He said that his daughter is 31 and needs to get herself out of her own mess and figure out how to make it right. She chimed in that the $7,000 is gone and asked how she could possibly pay us back. My brother refused to pay for her screw up. I know, you cancel the trip. You got your swan, you don't get your bachelorette party now. That's my solution.
Sit on that swan.
Gross. While I love that everyone is finally forcing this bee to be an adult, I would like my money back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not going to get it unless she magically wins the lottery or gets a real job. For those that ask, there's nothing we can do legally.
No.
We all willingly paid a fixed amount that would have covered, or that would have to move mountains and spend more money to sue. Plus, while she's incredibly shady and a terrible friend, she technically didn't do anything wrong that we could prove.
Yes, she did. She stole your money.
Yeah, but they can't prove that.
Okay.
Now, on to the bridesmaids. After some threats from my mom, sister-in-law finally broke down and contacted the bridesmaids in our group chat. She sent a text that made my skin crawl. Ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, ladies, you're my bride squad. I hate that already. So I feel compelled to share that my dad recently offered to pay for our batch accommodations. However, being that the wedding is so expensive, I decided to put his donation towards wedding expenses. I hope you all understand, and I can't wait to party with all of you next week.
That's how she worded it.
That's how she worded it.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell no. I immediately replied back, making sure that everyone knew the expense was an ice sculpture, an ice swan. Come on, people. Many of them replied and expressed how they would have loved to have used that $650 for something more important, but ultimately, no one has backed out. One of the girls started a side chat with the bride and asked her if there's any chance of getting our money back if we force sister-in-law to cancel the reservation. Unfortunately, since we're only a week out, we aren't eligible for a refund. Mm-hmm. They decided to go through with the batch, or else it would be a literal waste of $650.
Is there a whole post about the bachelorette weekend?
There's a mini update, 5.A. But for the rest of this update, as for myself, I'm in the same boat. I'd rather run myself over and than go on this trip. But $650 is no small amount, and I can't fathom just throwing it down the drain. I haven't made my final decision yet. If I do go, it will solely be to avoid eating $650 plus my airfare. I will not be doing any of the planned events or outfits or contributing even $1 more. I would have my own mini vacation as best I can. I'm really upset that it seems like this crazy person is going to get her way after all. Ugh.
Yeah. If she doesn't go, she's literally throwing it away. Like, not even melting it. Like, throwing it away. But if she goes, it's going to be so awkward between her and the bride. Because the bride is going to know that she is the one that kind of started all of this investigation.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know. I mean, would the bride know that that's the person who tipped everybody off?
It's her mom is the one that's going after her saying...
Yeah, but her mom went straight to... I mean, the future mother-in-law went straight to this bride's father. So she could play it off of like, hey, your dad and my mom were talking and he...
But then the mom is the one that said, you need to come clean with your bridesmaids.
Yeah. I just wonder how awkward would it be? Like she said, if she just makes it into her complete own mini vacation, she goes, she stays at the Airbnb, but she just goes and does her own thing the entire time.
Mm-hmm. But that's going to be weird too. It's just going to be weird all around.
It's already weird. The bride made it weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's on her. I mean, wouldn't it be weird going on this vacation knowing that everybody there knows that you robbed them? Isn't that also weird?
But she doesn't even sound like she cares. She doesn't even sound like that is affecting her. She's like, hey, you know, it's all about her. It sounds like she's one of those people that can do no wrong.
Okay, well then, I'm going to go have my own mini vacation.
We're not going to be friends anyways. So let me just go have fun.
Yeah.
I paid for it.
Uh-huh. All right. So here's the mini update. There are so many curious comments coming in, so I want to keep you all in the loop. More drama has unfolded among the bridesmaids.
This whole episode is going to be just about this.
I know. The side texts without the bride popped off, and we have all agreed to do the following. 1. We will be going on the trip, but it is no longer a bachelorette trip. We will all be taking personal vacations with our hubbies, significant others, while staying at the property.
Oh, they're bringing someone else with them now.
Apparently. They paid for it, so why not?
It's probably, I mean, if you're paying that much, it's probably some massive, massive property.
Well, she described it as a mansion at one point, I think.
Okay.
We were forced to this beachfront mansion. Yeah, again, plus airfare, so we're going to make the most of it. 2, we have all backed out of hosting and paying for the bridal shower.
Good for them.
Yep. The bride will need to find another way to move forward if she wants to have it. We will attend as guests if she has it, and we will not be gifting anything.
Yeah, your gift is that damn ice swan.
Yep, there you go.
Happy wedding.
Mother of the bride is absolutely furious. More on this later. 3, we're letting the bride know that she needs to cancel the ice swan and give us our money back. After some more research, we doubt that all $7,000 went towards the alleged swan because it doesn't seem likely that they cost that much. I won't be back for a while because I want to save the next updates for after the trip. Stay tuned.
So I looked at more ice swans, like bigger ones, like massive ones.
How much did your ice swans go for?
Well, the most expensive one I could find was $1,200. But then I also found like an entire ice bar with like your wedding names engraved or etched into the front of it, and like places for you to put bottles, and there's like a built-in like luge and all this stuff for $1,800. And this is a bar with lights.
Yeah. $7,000
for a stupid swan.
No, that's not what happened. It didn't go to a swan. No. It went to some other stuff for sure.
Yeah.
And the fact that she can't get it back makes it extra sketchy. Like, I would imagine that even if you cancel your ice swan late, before the ice swan is made.
Iced?
I don't know.
Frozen?
Yeah. You might lose a deposit, but how much do you think a deposit on a, like $500?
I was just going to say, if it's a $7,000 ice swan, I mean, maybe they'll keep 10%. And you'd get the rest back.
Okay. But still, that's enough to give them at least part of their money back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want to know the end?
Yep, go.
This is the longest story ever, but
I love
I'm
it.
invested.
Keep going.
Okay. Final update.
Is it, though?
I don't know. I haven't scrolled down. The absolute tea I have today, it took me so long to write this because I'm at a complete and utter loss for words. Where to begin? Let me start with this. There is no ice swan. There never was an ice swan.
Okay.
It was an elaborate fabrication designed to distract everyone from where the missing $7,000 actually went.
Okay, where did it go?
R.I.P. Ice Swan.
Melt away.
Turns out there was a reason behind sister-in-law's luxury bachelorette location. Here's what happened.
She's going to get boobs.
All the bridesmaids show up to the beachfront mansion with our significant others. Sister-in-law had already been made aware of it and was no longer a bachelorette. But to our complete shock, she was stunned that we actually meant it. Like,
Wait, stop. She's no longer a bachelorette, like she got married already?
No, I think like, hey, this is no longer a bachelorette party.
Got it. Okay, I'm with you.
I think that's what she means by that.
Okay, that makes more sense. Mm-hmm.
She arrived last in her pre-booked limo, absolutely fuming that no one else showed up to the limo meeting spot at the airport.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
She was the only one still sticking to the original itinerary.
Was she in her Barbie outfit?
No, because it's Thursday. No, Wednesday was Animal Print
Wild
Wednesday.
animals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was flabbergasted that the husbands and significant others were there with us. It was a comedy show at best. Anyway, we went about our individual mini vacations, and eventually someone realized that it had been about 48 hours since anyone had seen sister-in-law.
Oh, shit.
I assumed she was mad and either flew home or went to stay somewhere else. Then the unthinkable unfolds. Sister-in-law rolls up the driveway in a wheelchair, being pushed by 2 female nurses.
Am I so smart or what?
The entire group jumped into action thinking something horrible had happened.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone ran over to see what was going on, but the nurses ushered us away and wheeled sister-in-law into her room. At this point, I'm actually very concerned. We're all banging on the door asking if she's okay. The nurses eventually leave and say they legally can't reveal the nature of the health issue, but assured us that she was fine. I call my brother and my mom and get no answer. So finally decide to call her mom, aka mother of the bride, who was furious that we took over the bachelorette party. Mother of the bride reveals what actually took place. She isn't sick. She didn't have health issues. There is no accident. She got her boobs done.
Oh my God, I'm psychic.
Yes, folks, you read that correctly. She had planned, as a part of the original itinerary, to disappear for an afternoon and return with a new set of melons. I'm sorry, what? The location of the beachfront mansion is conveniently 5 minutes away from a very famous cosmetic surgeon's office. The reason she needed to get this giant-ass property was not really to host 11 girls. It was to host 11 girls plus the surgery recovery nurses, a personal chef she had reserved for after the operation.
What?
There's so much more that we need to unpack. I honestly don't know where to begin. What was her mother's knowledge and involvement in all of this? What was the cost of the procedure? Guessing around $7,000. And why was it meant to be a part of the bachelorette party? What was the purpose of the ice swan lie? Like, what the fuck? Will the bridesmaids, myself included, pursue legal action? Where does this leave my brother? Is he okay with this lady? Was this horrible misplaced cry for attention? Was it an FU to the bridesmaids somehow? So many questions remain. I'm only a few hours back from this trip, and all of this information this is all the information I have right now. I was intending for this to be a final update, and I just want to say thank you all for your support, advice, bags of popcorn, and funny input. This has been a wild ride, and I'm glad I could share it with you.
Oh,
so far.
Oh my God.
Oh, we have had this crazy ordeal picked up by news publications, multiple podcasts, and a magazine.
Trademarked.
I literally want to write a book about my experience. I've already revealed a great deal of information, and so to protect my brother's privacy moving forward, I think I need to step away from any more updates.
Oh, no.
The end. There's lots of comments, but man, yeah, you called it from the beginning. That is wild.
Wow. Okay, so you're going to get something done, plastic surgery wise, and not just like a mole removal or something like that, but big old knockers, and you're not going to tell your to-be husband?
Surprise! Here's your wedding gift.
There's 2 of them.
One of the comments says, my father is an ice sculptor. He has been for 25 plus years. There's literally no ice swan that costs $7,000. And someone replied, hear me out. Maybe the ice swan literally came from Frozen Hill, hence the high import and shipping costs.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Wow. I want to know if the wedding happened.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it probably did.
He sounded
I don't know. Like, he was really supportive. He understood. But at that point, like,
everyone's being lied to, not just the bridesmaids anymore.
Right. Like, he was giving her some grace because she was so overly stressed about this wedding, and she's an influencer and blah blah blah. It's so hard being me, and he bought the sob story. He went into it, but then now he has to think back that as she's crying about how hard it is and how she made a mistake,
none of that was true either.
None of that was true. So she double whammy manipulated.
Well, and lied to the dad, obviously.
Yeah.
And mom is in on it.
Yeah,
Because
it sounds like
knew.
she knew. At this point, do you still go to the wedding?
Do you go for your brother, is what it is.
Do you go to the wedding, and do you, in the process, somehow commandeer $650 worth of things at the wedding? Maybe?
Ask for a few doggy bags.
Yeah.
I mean, each plate's probably $40, $50 a plate.
Maybe a tier of that wedding cake. You want some new flatware? I bet they have fancy ones.
Bottles of champagne.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And some of those gifts, I mean, those are just like party favors, right? Just take a couple of those.
I mean, if you really want to get right down to that $650, you just go right to that gift card stack.
Yeah. They put them like in like a wishing well or something stupid on tree branches or something.
Yeah.
Just grab a couple of those.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
it's like a piñata.
If she confronts you, just let her know how stressful it is to be a bridesmaid. And she just couldn't handle the pressure.
And you're going to go get your boobs done.
Yes. New boobs for everyone.
Okay. So this is from the subreddit Wedding Shaming. And it starts out with a post from someone asking, like, give me some chaos stories. Because they were having, like, a shitty week. And they want this drama to, like, make them laugh.
They want to focus on somebody else's drama.
Mm-hmm. So this person writes, so I'm going to read the one that has the most upvotes. And it says, and there's a lot of abbreviations that I'm going to have to remember what they mean. Because it's been quite a while since I got married.
I think we can figure it out.
And then there's some, like, you can tell it's from another country. Because they, like, spell mom, M-U-M. So there's some terminology that's a little bit different. So we're going to have to do some, like, detective deciphering here.
Context clues.
So it says, father of the bride and mother of the bride arrive in country of wedding the night before the wedding. He doesn't eat anything and drinks. Gets up the next morning, takes his blood pressure tablet, passes out at the kitchen table eating breakfast. Cue fretting because we are in the middle of nowhere. And it says in parentheses, chateau with acres of land around it.
That's how you know you're rich, when you call it a chateau instead of a
Farmhouse.
Airbnb, farmhouse.
Only one person speaks the language. Mother of the bride is flapping because she's worried and can't find her phone. We get father of bride, mother of bride, and native speaker in car to nearest hospital, which is a while away. Meanwhile, the night the father, mother of the bride arrive, someone opens the window in the cupboard that has a bed that I'm sleeping in. So there's another thing. There's like a cupboard with a bed in it.
Like a Murphy bed? Like
I'm
one
guessing.
that comes down from the wall?
Yeah.
Probably.
And there are hundreds of bugs in there.
Oh, gross.
I'm scared of bugs. Maid of honor, Honour, agrees to let me share her bed, which I gratefully accept. And they'll figure out a way of getting rid of the bugs tomorrow, the day of the wedding. The dress is in her room because the groom hasn't seen it yet. I get woken up at 3 a.m. with the MOH, maid of honor, stumbling drunk into the room, which is not unexpected, to be honest. What is unexpected is that she tripped holding a wine glass and has smashed it into her hand, so she somehow, luckily, only has a deep cut on her pinky finger. I now have to act as medic to a drunk, bleeding person who keeps trying to wander near the dress.
Wait, the wedding hasn't even happened yet, and we've already had 2 drunken accidents?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I basically order her to get in the bed, not move, and I will sort everything. So, day of wedding, no blood on dress. Barely any sleep for me and MOH. Maid of honor, father of the bride, mother of bride, and 2 guests are at the hospital. Maid of honor has refused to go to the hospital to get her hand looked at.
Oh, so it was maid of honor, not the mother of the bride.
You're right. Mm-hmm. MOH. I was like MOB. Yeah. I told you there's a lot of abbreviations. To get her hand looked at because they need to get ready for the wedding still. And we get news that father of bride will not be back in time for the wedding. Caterers are lovely. Offer to bring everything back the next day and do it a day late. Everyone's on board, but the officiant can't make it, so there's no one to actually marry them. So they're moving the entire wedding to a day later because the dad can't be there because he got too drunk and his heart medicine.
Yeah, you didn't eat anything. You got to, and it's not even the day. Wait, save that for the day of the wedding at least. Jeez.
Maid of honor points out she's a registrar, and the officiant is like, great, here's what to do. And then the maid of honor is marrying her best friend, which is obviously a highlight for them. One problem. Wedding cake is a traditional French one. And it says the Tower of Profiteroles. I don't know, something
That's
with
not a
caramel.
real word.
Yeah, profiteroles. With
Never
caramel.
heard it. Okay.
It's
Tower
like
of Caramel.
with some French pastry, something or other.
Okay.
Some fancy French cake. And will not last to the next day.
It's going to melt away just like the imaginary ice swan.
Cue us having a barbecue with wedding cake and then going to the nearest town to find a substitute for the day of. We end up with a cheesecake, but like several huge cheese wheels on top of each other in a cake tier.
Okay, that's even
with
better than
ribbons
a wedding
around
cake,
them.
though.
Had a beautiful wedding the day after we were meant to. Now everything keepsake has the wrong date on it, though. And so I actually have a picture of the cheesecake.
That is the best come up. Oh, that's
It's
beautiful.
so pretty.
That is beautiful. That's way better than a wedding cake. They won, despite people in their wedding party not being able to control. And I don't know. It's one thing to get a little tipsy and maybe be hungover on the day of, but to be so drunk that you find yourself in the hospital
And can't get out. Like you can't just like
they won't let me leave.
yeah, you're like checked in and you have to stay there to recover.
Oh man.
And think about the stress you're putting on your daughter
Yeah.
at that point too. Like my dad's in the hospital.
They're really lucky. I feel like whatever. Were they in France or I mean?
It kind of
is there a
sounds like
language
it.
barrier. I don't know. Wherever they were, they're way more fortunate than I think a wedding party here in the U.S. would be, because there's no way you're gonna get those vendors to move everything an entire day. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. No worries. We'll come back the next day.
No, they're gonna be like, all right, here's the food that you bought from us.
Figure it out.
Microwave it tomorrow.
Here's some to-go bags.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another one. And it's an Am I the Asshole?
Your favorite.
Yahoo! It says, am I the asshole for dancing with my high school ex at a wedding?
Initial thought? No.
No. No. Not at all.
No, I was trying to think like, okay, unless you're like, unless,
Oh, God. What?
here's my caveat. If your current partner has bad blood with that ex, then you're the asshole. If maybe you got together with your new partner and then the ex started harassing her or something, then yeah, you don't dance with her. But if it's from high school and I'm imagining these are adults, then like whatever.
Dance with whoever you want to. Yeah, I say no, absolutely not.
I
for
would
this
be
one.
pissed if my whatever significant other was dancing with somebody who was mean to me.
If someone, yeah, okay, I could see that. That's probably the only thing I can see.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. It says, so to give you some background, my wife, 28 female, and I, 29 male, have been married for 2 years. Now, I love my wife. We have a great relationship so far. All in all, I couldn't be happier. Last year, my wife and I were invited to her best friend's wedding. It was a pretty luxurious wedding with dances, feasts, drinks, grandeur, you get the gist. During one of the dances, when my wife and I were sitting at the side, a random man asked my wife for a dance. Now, this guy was an objectively good-looking dude, and my wife appeared flustered when he asked her for a dance. She looked over at me, and I told her to go ahead. Why not? We were all having fun. There's no harm in my wife having some fun, too. It wouldn't hurt me. Except it did hurt me internally. I'm not the type to be normally bothered by such trivial matters, but in this instant, it did. But I tried not to did I say that right?
Outwardly, yeah.
Outwardly show it. My wife and this guy were clearly enjoying themselves. I could see my wife was still fluffered.
Fluffered. Where are we? Is this the beginning of an adult film?
Was still flustered when they were dancing. I had never seen her blush this much in a long time. I mean, I get it. This guy was objectively good looking and my feelings were irrational. Well, anyways, over the following days, my wife sensed that I was not myself, and she apologized for the incident. I told her she had nothing to apologize about, and that was the end of that. We still loved each other, and I realized I probably had to internally work through my own insecurities, which I did, and I was back to normal in a couple days.
That seems very mature.
He just worked through it.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, fast forward a year, and my wife and I were now invited to my best friend's wedding. This was my best friend from high school, and I expected I'd see some of my old high school mates. The wedding was a blast. I caught up with a lot of my high school friends, including my ex from high school. I'm not going to lie, she looked stunning. During the dances, I asked my wife if I could dance with my ex, and she gave me the go-ahead. Well, I asked my ex for a dance, she agreed, and we danced. She complimented me a lot physically, which made me feel things. I complimented her, too. There was a lot of close physical contact, especially during the slow dances. How many dances are you doing?
You get one dance. Don't make it weird.
Which was probably inappropriate, but at that moment, I was justifying it intentionally because of my wife's dance the last year. Now, singular, my wife's dance last year. Well, we danced for quite some time, and I finally called it off when it went way too overboard.
Yeah, I think you passed that. The ship has sailed. It's overboard after one dance.
My ex wanted to continue on, but I somehow found restraint to stop it. By that time, I think the damage had been done, and my wife wanted to go home. We left home early, and my wife straight up cried when we reached home. This hurt me a lot, and she's never hidden her emotions from me, and I apologized. She told me I had no reason to apologize, but I told her I did because what I did was completely inappropriate. I've been making it up to her for the past week by taking her out on dates. She cried some days, and I comforted her. I think we're finally back to normal now. Was I the asshole for dancing with my high school ex at a wedding?
Yes. Yes. Because it's different, like you said. Okay, this is what bugs me about this am I the asshole thing. Because your title is so misrepresentative of what actually happened. You didn't just dance with her. I think that probably would have been fine. She may have had a little bit of like feeling about it, similar to the way he had the previous year. But it sounds like he spent like the whole night dancing with her. I think that's where the difference.
Well, and it wasn't just like one, cute little dance. It was like, it sounds like a couple fast dances and then some very romantical ones.
Romantical
Ones. There's probably a ice swan in the background. But no, too far. And he even said, it was inappropriate touching. What does that mean?
He was feeling things. But yeah, that's the difference. He's the asshole. Because if it were one dance, it would be fine. But it sounds like he abandoned his wife. And it's his group of friends. It's his hometown, his high school buddies. She probably was sitting there all by herself thinking like, okay, when do I get my husband back? That's the difference. I mean, I guess it's nice that he's trying to make it up to her and is actually taking some accountability. But why are you asking Reddit? You know what you did.
Yeah, fix it. So the next day, he comes back on and he goes, am I the asshole? Or no, the next day, he comes back on and he says, I am the asshole. I get it. I hurt my wife massively. I was also a bit drunk. It doesn't excuse what I did that day, but I lost some inhibitions. Looking back, what I did that day was far worse than what I typed in my original post.
Oh, see, they also sugarcoat it.
I was completely inappropriate with her. I'm going to start looking for therapy to work through my insecurity issues. I would like to somehow erase that day from memory. I just don't know what got over me that day. I would never do that in a million years. My ex and I exchanged numbers that day.
Yeah.
But I have now cut off all contact from my ex and blocked her. So he wanted it to go further than just a couple dances. He was trying to like rekindle some high school romance.
Yeah, and he was probably still dealing with some resentment from the previous year.
Yeah, he was like holding on to that. Like, well, she did it, so I can do it.
Yeah, he was getting some revenge. Because why else would he bring that up? He was trying to use that against her.
Make it not seem as bad.
Yeah.
Yep, you're the asshole. If you're asking, you're the asshole.
Any good comments?
So it says, one person says, I would never do that in a million years. Quote, like what he had said.
You did.
And the person said that equals the thing he just did, in fact, do. It's practically a psychological case of delusion. Real me wouldn't do that. That was just my alter ego, who was me, but it's too painful for me to admit it, so I was just deny. Also, this guy details much of what he did wrong, clearly still leaving out key things, says he knows what he did bad, but still seems to be asking if he's the asshole, with the exception of that people will pump him up and make him feel better about this.
Oh, yeah. So he's expecting that, like, okay, maybe if I tell this story, I can have some sort of justification, which he is. He's trying to use what she did as justification to make his thing okay.
Well, and the person that she danced with, she didn't even know. She had no relationship. She probably didn't even know the guy's name.
Yeah.
And she did. She said, hey, is this cool with him? He's like, yeah, go for it. You don't know this person. Go have fun. Go dance. Who cares if he's good looking? He's trying to make it seem like what she did was just as bad as what he did.
No, yeah, he's like definitely trying to justify it. And again, like if it were just one dance, that would be fine. But nope.
Well, and yeah, and this comment, dances as in plural. Then he got her phone number? Yeah.
Yeah, no thank you.
So my wedding, do you remember when someone...
No, I don't. I was 12.
There was someone that danced with someone else. I'm not going to give names or anything about this, but there was someone...
I probably don't even know who they are.
Oh, you do?
Okay.
That danced with someone else. So there was a man danced with another woman, and the man's wife got mad and called a cab and went home. Nope, take it back. The wife got mad, took the car and went home, and the husband had to get a taxi to go home. This was before Ubers.
Wow. And I know who these people are? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was not an inappropriate dance. It was not... It was like sister-in-law type dances. Yeah, so I don't know. I think weddings, there's always going to be some kind of drama, and
there's usually going to be drinking.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And that's going to make drama even more intense.
I have gone to a Mormon wedding, though, where there was no alcohol.
Did they have cake still?
Yeah.
See, okay.
And dancing.
Well, yeah, I think they do that. Caffeine. That's the other thing they don't have. I'm like, okay, is it sugar? No, caffeine. They don't drink caffeine.
But I had to wear...
Special underwear?
No, I didn't get to wear any of those.
Oh.
I had to wear like a very conservative dress. Like
do you have any of those?
No, I
don't think you own any
go
of those.
buy one. Like you couldn't even show shoulders.
Yeah. That's how the Mormons do it. Yeah. I
trying
used to escort a Mormon to church and went to church with her.
Oh, did she have special underwear?
Yes. She showed me her special underwear.
Oh, did that mean you guys are married now?
Yeah. I inherited 8 children.
She has 8 children for real?
No, she had like 6. But still.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
She was very nice. A lot of people didn't like her. But hey.
Hey, she was nice to you.
She was nice. She was just blunt.
Do you want to do our little fun ending?
Yeah.
Because I know you wanted to look up the meaning of, or the origins of where rice comes from.
I know. It's so exciting, isn't it?
And then I want you to think back of all the movies you've ever watched and name 1 or 2 that have like a really good wedding scene. And it doesn't have to be like a movie all about weddings, but like just a wedding scene in it, and see if it makes this top 20 list.
Okay.
Because the movie that first came to mind when I thought of this top 20 thing is not on this list at all.
Okay. Like, what kind of, like, the best wedding scene, like, most romantic, or?
Most memorable wedding scene.
Okay.
Funny, sad,
Okay.
happy, elaborate, whatever.
I've got a couple in my brain right now.
Okay. Do you want to tell me them? You want to do that one first?
Sure.
Okay.
So, do you have your list pulled up?
Got it.
The first one that came to mind is Bridesmaids.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
That's on the list.
Although I can't really remember the actual wedding itself other than them dancing. Oh gosh, I've got even more now. Okay.
I like it when they're trying on dresses.
Yes.
And they all have explosive diarrhea.
It's a great movie.
That's number 8 on the list.
The next one is, because it's so chaotic, and I think it's the beginning of the movie starts off with a wedding scene, is 27 Dresses.
Okay, that is number 4 on the list.
That's a good movie, too.
Super cute movie.
Even though everyone says, what's her name? The actress is, like, not a nice person.
In real life?
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't have to be. She's an
Yeah,
actress.
I don't know her. I'm not her friend. And then the other one, which is old, I guess older movie, throwback, Runaway Bride.
That is on the... You're good at this. That's on here, too. That's down a bit a ways. I don't know. It's down a little bit.
I could go back and watch that movie. And how about Wedding Singer?
Wedding Singer is on here, as well as Wedding Planner.
Oh,
I think that's like a J-Lo movie. I don't
I
know.
don't think I know Wedding Planner.
Wedding Singer is number 5.
What's number 1?
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that movie. I don't really have a lot of memories.
Me either.
I know I watched it.
Me too. But I can't really tell you what it's
and I
about.
watched it in theaters.
It's an older movie.
Yeah.
But then My Best Friend's Wedding with Julia Roberts.
Okay.
That's number 2.
I don't know if I ever saw that movie.
Father of the Bride is number 3. I don't know if I've seen that movie. It's an older one with Steve Martin. Number 4, 27 Dresses, and then number 5, Wedding Singer. So the first movie that came to mind for me, which is thinking of wedding scenes, is not on here at all because maybe people don't want to remember it, is Sex and the City. Remember when Big leaves her at the altar and she's like in the wedding dress with that bird on her head and she's like, "Get this dress off of me." No?
Kind of.
Oh, that is
Kind
so memorable to me.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like such a dramatic scene. And then like all the bridesmaids are helping her down the stairs, and they get her into the limo, and Charlotte comes out and like screams at Big because he comes around, and yeah, it's a very, very good scene. They did a good job with that.
Okay. I might have to go back and watch that.
Totally worth watching.
Okay.
But then my second one
Yeah.
is on here. The Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
Marriage.
Yeah.
So good.
That's a good one.
So
I should have guessed that you would have thought of that.
I love that movie. Tell me about Rice, baby.
Not ice one. It's not that exciting.
Oh.
The tradition of throwing rice at weddings originated in ancient civilizations, like the Romans, where it symbolized fertility, prosperity, and good luck, essentially wishing the newlyweds a fruitful marriage with an abundance of children and wealth.
Ah.
Rice was chosen due to its availability and affordability, representing the idea of a bountiful harvest and a growing family. Oh, that reminds me. I have this other fun fact that I don't know if it's 100% true, but I think it is.
Let's say it is.
Do you know why brides hold a bouquet?
Because they never took showers.
Yes. Because back in the olden days, it was to make them smell better because they stink.
That's the whole thing with Ring Around the Rosie, too, in the bubonic plague. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies. You have a pocket in your, shirt pocket of flowers close to your nose, because the smell of death was all around.
Oh,
Ashes. Sorry, I'm not calling you ashes. They're burning the bodies. We all fall down. We all die.
Dying.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew the second half of that. I did not know the pocket full of posies.
Because it smelled like death everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Throwback to the original Ripple podcast.
Death and dying.
Yes.
I've had a couple of requests that we do a deep dive every so often into a death case.
Oh, okay.
Just telling you what the people want.
I did watch the Gabby Petito thing.
I did too.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was like, okay, I think it was a good compilation of all of the little tidbits that I feel like I already heard because social media spreads that info so quickly. The one thing that I didn't know about until watching the documentary was the ex-boyfriend.
Right, that she had called
and texted and...
I wonder if he has guilt for not answering that one phone call. Oh, yeah,
he said that. He said that on the documentary itself. He's like, I wish I could have answered that call, but he had no idea.
Did you count how many people had tattoos that she had?
I think her blonde friend and her mom.
And the ex-boyfriend. He had one too.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's really sad.
And her stepmom.
I mean, I think they all probably have some survivor's guilt because you could totally hear it in her blonde friend. I don't remember her name. Her voice. Like that she felt like she could have done something.
Well, Gabby helped her get out of an abusive relationship. Yeah. So, and then there was the girl in all black.
Yeah, who apparently was both of their friends. But I kind of got the impression that she was more his friend.
That's how I felt too. She was almost kind of sticking up for him.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe too. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too far into it.
I felt the same way.
Yeah, I felt like she was more like, okay, I'm friends
with
him, but also his girlfriend's around and like I'm
cool with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't remember about the letter that Brian's mom had written to him.
That was insane.
Burned this after reading it.
That was absolutely insane.
Which obviously he didn't do. And I will love you forever and forgive you for whatever. And
if you need me, I will
bury a body for
you. If you go to prison, I will bake a chisel into a cake and break you out. Like, it was insane, the things that she was saying. But yeah.
So do you think he's still alive?
Yes.
Do you think they hit him?
I don't think that he ever went back to Florida. I think that he was wired money to get on a boat, on a plane, on a somewhere, and get out of the country. I think he immediately left the country. I think that one of the other families went and drove the van back. So I don't know, I have so many theories. So one of the things that wasn't adding up is that when they were looking for Brian, like when they first...
Like the search parties?
No, like when they went back to the house and they said, hey, we need to talk to him.
Oh, the cops.
And they said, we haven't seen him in a few days. He took off. We don't know where he is. At that time, the Mustang is still in the driveway. And then later on, the Mustang turns up at the park. So if he truly did leave at that time, wouldn't the car be gone? That's why I think the car was planted.
You don't think he was in the house hiding? And they just didn't...
I don't think he was ever in the house.
See, I thought he was in the house, and they just said, oh, we don't know where he is, and you can't come here. I thought they were hiding him in the home.
No, I think by then there's too many protesters around for him to ever...
Get out without them noticing?
Yeah.
That is true. Unless, yeah. But so whose body did they find?
I don't know, but the uncle identified the body as being his with dental records. So I feel like that could have been faked as well. Did you know, I sent you a TikTok today, that in the process of looking for them, they found 9 other bodies?
Stop. Why did they talk about that?
I don't know.
I mean, there are so many people that go missing, which is true, all over the place. But it felt kind of sad for Gabby's parents that they were saying, like, the only reason she's getting all this attention is because she's a pretty white girl.
I think that a big reason why she got so much attention is because she was actively documenting her life.
Oh, and not only actively documenting, but actively posting it for the world to see.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like that's what really, because the media immediately had footage that they could post of her.
Recent footage
That made people connect with her. Because it's a lot harder to connect with just a still photo and a name. But when you see, oh, okay, this is a person who's trying to be a social media influencer.
We can hear her voice. We can
right.
track where she was.
And go back and watch all of these videos and play armchair detective and
form that connection.
Yeah.
I wonder if Brian's still alive.
I think he is.
You don't think Mama would have gone and found him and gone to him?
Do you know that she never had a funeral for him?
They didn't tell that part either.
According to TikTok. I don't know if that's true.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I think he's out there. And then, remember, he went on Instagram Live after.
Yes. And deleted it?
Yeah.
That, 2-second clip?
Of him on a boat?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I don't know. That's, to me, the biggest thing that he might still be out there.
I think, too, I would imagine that there's probably some technology out there where you could identify where that video was taken.
Oh, there's a guy on TikTok. You send him, a 3-second video, and he can...
No, but I don't think you can do that of water.
Probably not. If there's any scenery or anything in the background.
I think it was kind of, I just watched it a little earlier today. It's kind of just shooting down at the water.
Oh, you saw the video?
Yeah.
Because he deleted it, but everyone screen grabbed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a long time. Ugh, sick man.
Yeah, I really think that he found out that Gabby was talking to the ex and lost it.
Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that guy might have a lot of guilt about, too. He might think that he's the reason that Gabby got killed, which he has no reason to think that. That's not fair for him to have that.
Right, you can't put that on yourself.
No. But, yeah, that poor guy. I bet he's struggling a lot. He sounded like he really loved her.
Yeah, it was disgusting. Well, hopefully he gets the therapy that he needs. Hopefully they all do.
Yeah. Well, that was a little true crime thrown in there. We'll have to find some more of that.
Isn't that uplifting?
Yeah. No, I don't know how to end it now.
No. If you could change one thing about your wedding, what would it be?
More candid photos.
Oh, okay.
Because I had a photographer, and it was all the very stiff posed photos, which are great to have, the traditional kind of stuff. But you got to remember, I got married in the time of film.
Yeah, but you had disposable cameras
I did.
all over the place, and you got a ton of candid photos from those, and crotch shots from under people's dresses.
I did. I got quite a few of those developed when I go to my 1-hour photo delivery place, and I'm opening up the 24-pack of pictures, and I'm looking, oh, there's so-and-so drinking. Oh, there's so-and-so laughing. Oh, there's what is this? Yeah, crotch shots.
Uh-huh.
A few of them. We were able to identify those crotches as well. Little detective work right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. All right. We're recording later this week again for next week, which are finally, hopefully, going to be our high school, junior high episode.
I think I have some good ones.
Okay. All right. Until then, let's not forget to be fountains.
And not drains.
Or ice sculptures of swans.
Imaginary ice sculptures.